Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deed and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the day of judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the day of judgment.
He was known as the Sword of Allah, one of the greatest generals in history, one of Islam's greatest heroes. His name, Khalid ibn al-Walid. Sunnahfollowers presents a new series presented by Ustad Mukhtar Shahid. Coming soon, so stay tuned. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Sunnahfollowers presents a new upcoming class. Stay tuned. Sacred Bonds by Daryl Abdullah Kirk. Yes, Sacred Bonds, navigating the depths of Muslim matrimony and the family. You don't want to miss this one. Please stay tuned. Streaming on all major platforms right here on Sunnahfollowers.net.
Living in this dunya, to the believer, it's a prison. Living in this dunya, to the believer, it's a prison. Living in this dunya, to the believer, it's a prison.
And he scores! Dang. Wait, is that the Adon? I think so, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Gotta pray.
yeah, we do gotta pray. We gotta pray. Let's get that in
Yes, sir.
ASAP.
Ha ha!
I don't know what it is,
Akbar!
but you know what? You know, I've been listening to this program,
Yeah.
Sunnah Followers, and I've been learning a lot, Aki. Man, a lot.
Mashallah.
Yeah, like what? What you been learning about? Man, I've been learning about a lot. Salah, hadith, the life of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man.
Wow, for real though.
And you know another thing? The shows just keep come on
Alright.
back to
Yeah,
back to back.
alhamdulillah. I just
Alhamdulillah.
gotta check them out.
For real though.
Yo.
Wow. My God, if you have any questions, check this out. Every Friday, you can call in Sister Layla live. Call her with any one of your questions in regards to this deen. And man, she will answer them. She will get you right. Anyway, inshallah, I'm about to tune into that. But you know something else? If this is going to be a benefit to me, I got to get with that Sadaqah Jariyah.
All right. Donate to Sunnahfollowers.net. We're here for you. Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Hot topic for this upcoming Ask Sister Layla live show. This Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Ustada Layla Nashiba, she will be addressing the older men chasing younger women to marry to feel young again. Walis and imams seeking new shahadas to marry to complete half their deen and more. You're not going to want to miss this show. Streaming on all major platforms. See you there, inshallah. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join us in the 24-hour Zoom room for behind-the-scenes access.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah, subhanallah. It's just, I'd like to welcome everybody here to our Aqidah class. And as I always tell you guys, of all the classes, this is the most important because our Aqidah is our belief system. And that belief system is what determines if we end up in paradise or hell. And I'm here to tell you guys, it's just been a depressing week for me personally as a daya. We had, there was an African-American brother in Missouri. I talked about it yesterday. If you guys can't see, we talked about how when it comes to our iman, there are several obstacles that stand in the way. A lot of us as Muslims suffer with doubt. What is that? Even though you may know the truth about something, you still don't want to accept it. You question it. You question it. For example, even though you know that you're supposed to pray 5 times a day, you may find yourself asking, well, why should I do this? Why should paradise lie on that? So doubt is something that a lot of us suffer with. And another obstacle that many of the Muslims today suffer with is delusion. We can become so deluded into believing something. We can become so deluded in believing that we, for example, know it all. And this is a problem I see with a lot of the, and this kind of knocks me out. The famous personalities, the famous brothers who have been into the Dawah scene here in America since the 1980s and the 90s. Some of the brothers that, went overseas to school, to Medina and other places like that, such as El Azhar University. Ain't but two universities, as far as I'm concerned. The only two schools to learn Islam from is El Azhar or Medina. That's it, as far as I'm concerned. Or the school in Mecca. And we know brothers who've went there and come back. And they were really dynamic speakers and dynamic dua or daya in the 90s and the early 2000s here in America. And then you look at them today, 2024, you listen to them speak. And these are brothers that you knew personally. And you see how their ideology has changed. First of all, you can look at their outward appearance and see how they've changed. You know, what happened to the tabush you used to wear? My gosh, what happened to the thobes you used to wear? Now you're wearing suits and ties. Is your beard trim? Oh my God, you used to have a long, beautiful beard, but now your beard is trimmed. You kind of look like the Italian man that lived next door to me. I mean, we see them change on the outward appearances, the physical. And they go to drive, and I'm looking at the type of cars they drive in now. I mean, nothing's wrong with that. I drive a nice car too. But, you know, if you can afford it, whatever. But I remember how before they were so moderate, you know, they always wanted to keep the balance in things. And they used to tell me, because I know these brothers, some of them personally, they used to say, Sister Layla, because I'm, you know, Layla, keep the balance, you know, keep the balance, keep the balance. Don't be such an uptown girl in an uptown world. But I look at them now and see how they drive in nice cars. I mean, I do too. But personalized license plates. I got a personalized plate. I didn't renew it. My name. I got a license plate that says Layla. Layla N. I didn't renew it though. I've lost it. But these brothers have other personalized plates that say Star. Stuff like that. Or Sheikh. Like, Sheikh? Some of them even have Mufti. I'm like, you kind of changing, brother. And then when you look at them now and listen to them speak, their ideology just changed. It's no longer about what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. It's no longer about the understanding that the companions had about life. It's now about how we need to modernize. It's about progressive Islam. It's about progressing. You know, that was then, this is now. And it's shocking. It's scary. And if you truly believe in Allah and fear his punishment, it'll cause you to think. And I've been very thoughtful this past week. And sad today. I've done a lot of crying today. You know, a lot of crying because it's getting ready to happen. I mean, the war is here. You know, Allah says whenever we deviate away from the true Islam, whenever we sell this religion for the miserable price of this world, know that Allah will send calamities. We see what's going on over in Gaza, in Bangladesh, in Africa, and all that part of the world. That's been going on, that the actual physical war. But how many of you are aware that we're at war here in America too? The war is not just over in the Middle East and Africa. It's everywhere. A different type. It'll be physical soon. It'll be physical soon here too. But look at the warfare that's going on. You Muslims living in America, you Muslims living in Europe, you think that you're exempt from war? Look what's been going on in the United Kingdom all last month, the month before last. Look what's been going on for the past 2-3 months in the UK, in Europe, in Germany, in different parts of Europe. Psychological, physical. Allah is showing his displeasure with us. Then here in America, death, people getting killed, people dying, people being executed unjustly, like what happened to the man in Missouri, who I'm a paralegal. I followed that case and it's just depressed me because they had no evidence against this brother. None, nothing. This was an act of racism, of hatred. And Missouri has always been known as a racist state anyway. America has never changed. America will never change. It will always be a racist country. Okay? And what happened to him, that's a wake-up call. You guys can see Allah is letting you know, don't think you got it so good. Allah has the bombs going off in other parts of the world. Remember, Allah has promised us He'll never put a test on us that's above our grade. In all of our trials, all of our tests, all of our punishments, whatever, is in accordance to your faith anyway. Okay, the people that have bombs being dropped on them, they can handle it because that's how ahead of us they are in their iman. American Muslims are deluded. So many of us suffer with delusion. We don't believe it's possible. We don't believe that Allah will send his wrath to us. We're stuck into this non-Muslim way of thinking. We've become racist. Arabs, if you ain't Arab, they don't care about you. Let the Africans eat dirt. Isn't that what they said on the TikTok videos? When some of the African Muslims from Muslim countries in Africa were speaking out about the genocide they've been going through since the early 2000s. What did the people on TikTok say? The Muslims on TikTok say, let Africans eat dirt. That's what they're accustomed to. So we've become like these unbelievers. We don't care about each other. We have no love for one another. Even the Daya, the brothers that call themselves people of the Sunnah, those of you who may have knowledge of Islam, those of you brothers who may possess the correct Aqidah, but you're on the internet cursing each other, fighting each other, damning each other. Like the Prophet said, we will destroy each other. We're so busy calling each other kafirs and fighting each other. So Allah has this war. It's here. It's all around us. The signs of Allah are there. But like Allah says in the Quran, only the people of understanding will recognize them. You think you're free of what's going on in the Middle East because you live in America? Look at what happened to that imam that was in prison, that they killed, they murdered unjustly, and there was no evidence against him. That's a sign Allah letting you know you ain't safe. You're not safe because you in America. Let you get caught up in something. Let you anger the wrong person. For you Muslim men, a lot of you Muslim men like to marry women. Marry the wrong type of woman. A lot of you men marry the wrong type of woman and then divorce her or tick her off and let her go file a suit against your behind. And let her refer to you as being a terrorist. Oh, yeah, that's all she got to do. You a Muslim. Muslims are enemy number one here in America. Muslims, we are enemy number one. All it takes is you to tick off a woman and she go and cry her tears to the police department and say he's a terrorist, by the way. He supports Al-Qaeda. They will come and handcuff you, throw you in jail, beat your behind, and have you in court for all type of crap. And kill you too. You ain't free. You're not free. You're not exempt. None of us are. Even myself. None of us are. We're Muslims. We will always be the minority, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. As Allah said, the non-believers will never accept us. You can stop wearing a hijab. You can change your name to Mo and Polly Sue Anderson. They still got a record on you. There's still a record on you. Okay? You are in the system as a Muslim. Because as a lot of you Muslims don't know, they passed the Patriot Act long time ago under the Obama administration. All Muslims are recorded in America. They don't need no search warrants. They don't need no court orders. All of us are being monitored anyway. They know who's Muslim and who ain't. Whether you take your hijab off or not. I got a relative. Oh, yeah. I got a relative. She Muslim. She stopped wearing hijab. She stopped wearing jilbab. They don't even call her by her name. They call her by some J or some initials. Oh, yeah. Went somewhere. Something broke out. Who did they come to try to arrest? Her. And they told her, you a Muslim. She said, no, I'm not. Trying to play like she wasn't. They said, you in the system. Get your butt in the buggy. Patriot Act. Passed. Y'all voted for Obama. He passed that law a long time ago after 9/11. All right. And when I look and see these well-known, famous Daya in America who have sold their souls for fame, they sold their souls to be a part of the White House to the point that they're shaking hands with the non-Muslims, not just for Turkey Day, but they compromised our religion. Oh, yeah. Y'all want to know what's in effect right now, what they trying to pass? I'm going to let y'all know. I'll probably get in trouble for it. They're trying to pass a law to make happy birthday for the Prophet Muhammad here in America. Did y'all know that? These famous brothers who also support LGBTQ, they not only support LGBTQ and all this other filth, but they say, oh, let's just support them because maybe we can get something for us. They want to do they think they're going to put a happy birthday to the Prophet Muhammad law in effect in America? And even if they did, what a heck of an innovation is that? That's not Islam. Before the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam died, he said, do not do to me what they did to my brother Jesus, and may Allah curse the people who did that. These famous personalities in America that y'all listen to, I'm sorry, guys, they just leading y'all to the hellfire. The Sunnah has become abandoned. The Sunnah has become forgotten. Islam and its truthfulness is disappearing. Like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will search through the entire land and only find a handful. I'm telling you, here in America, I know there's only 5 daya. I was just talking about this with someone a few minutes ago. There's only 5 people out of all the Muslims in America. There's only 5 that I can honestly say are practicing Islam with the understanding of those companions. I can only name 5. And I know a lot of famous people, guys. I've been around for a long time. I grew up in this scene. Most of them have sold out, sold their souls. Innovation, deviation. It's a done deal. I don't support any of these Muslim organizations in America. I don't support any of them. I'm sorry. They're no good. None of them. I'm talking ISNA. I'm talking ICNA. I'm talking all of them. I'm talking about North American Muslim associations. I'm talking about Muslim jurist associations. Done deal. It's over. You're not going to be represented based on Quran and Sunnah with understanding of the companions by any of them, because they've all sold out for this dunya. It's all about progressive Islam. It's all about sectarianism. It's all about this type of lifestyle, blending in essential parts of Islam to follow, but not other parts of Allah's laws that don't have to be followed. This is what they made up. This is what they've made up. We can divide Allah's laws, Allah's rules, Allah's commands, Allah's obligations into 2 categories. Essentials that we have to abide by, and non-essentials. That's what they've done. And if you think you're safe in the Arabic countries, it's worse. This is all over the world. For the Arabs, Allah got the war going. Remember, the Prophet said they will always be the first to be destroyed. That's what Allah says, because the truth came to them. So if you thinking you can escape, there ain't nowhere to escape. I'm half Arab. My father's people are Egyptian. Do y'all think I can go to Egypt? If I went to Egypt talking like this, what would they do to me? I'd be in jail. I'd be murdered. You ain't safe nowhere. There is no such thing as a Muslim land. Don't y'all know that? That's gone. Those people have westernized. They've democratized. All the scholars are arrested. Do y'all think any scholars around? Hello? Where's Sheikh Munajid? The real scholars they put in jail. Don't y'all know that? And they killed a bunch of them. So if you people, that's another example of delusion. We are deluded. Some of us are deluded on one extreme, that we think that there's an Islamic utopia, that all we got to do is move to Saudi Arabia. Go to Saudi Arabia, they're going to put you in jail. And if they ain't going to let you stay there anyway. You can't move to Saudi Arabia. They're not going to allow you there. You ain't no Saudi. Okay, go to Egypt. You can't speak out against the government. You say something that they don't like, you going to jail. You can't teach Aqidah. Do y'all think I could sit here and teach this class if I was at my father's homeland, Egypt? No. You'd have to get permission from the government. And they ain't giving no permission like this. So don't get it twisted, Muslims. You can't make hijrah nowhere. Because this is the world we in today. These are the signs of the last hour that the Prophet warned us of. The war is already here. It ain't going away. It's going to affect all of us. And all the signs as to why that war is here. When I see these famous personalities here in America who've sold this religion out, when I can only count 5 people, and I know a lot of people, I can only count 5 of these famous people who are about anything. Just 5. SubhanAllah. Don't get it twisted, people. So it's all about faith, getting to know your Lord. And as we talked about the other day, one of the reasons why these brothers are like they are, and the women too, they're women too. I call them their women. The reason why these brothers are the way they are and their women, is because their aqidah is corrupted. It's been changed. They've joined these Mu'tazila groups. We talked about one group, the Murji'ah. What's so bad about this group? They don't believe that faith increases and decreases. That's the problem. These famous brothers on all these councils and Muslim committees here in America, most of them follow that belief. They'll tell you that Iman does not change. They'll tell you that our actions have no impact on our faith. So that's why you see them on TV supporting the LGBTQ. That's why you go to the mosque and you see them shaking hands with women. That's why you see women on all these boards of directors. You see women in the mosque now sitting on the board of directors with the men making decisions because they don't believe that the sins they commit, they don't believe that the actions of disobedience that they commit is impacting their iman. They believe that all they have to do is believe in Allah in their heart. And that's it. The actions don't matter. Whether a woman wears a hijab doesn't matter. Whether a woman stands in front of a bunch of men and gives lectures and stuff doesn't matter. Whether a man shaves his beard doesn't matter. Whether I support genocide against Muslims don't matter. Because my faith is separate from my action. That's the mentality that most of these famous people in America have. I keep telling you guys, the majority of these famous speakers in America are mystic Sufis. There's mystic Sufis. The Sufis have the ball here. And they are such good speakers. Like the prophet said, these people will be able to move their tongue like a cow chews a cud. They can, with their soft voices. Their soft voices, beautiful diction. They've never raised their voice. They keep their voice at a monotone just like this. They never get louder than this, and this, and this, and they mesmerize you. And you're sitting there listening to their voice, but not hearing what they're saying. They have you duped. Then you listen to a person like me. My voice goes up and down like the prophet. The prophet didn't lecture in a monotone, duping you voice. Up and down. We have to shake your heart because these speakers don't shake your heart. They mesmerize you. And you end up following them. You end up believing them over the people of the truth. Murji'ah. Most of the American Muslims belong to that sect, guys. It's messed up. A lot of these brothers from these Arabic countries and Asian countries, And African countries that came to America, they come from Sufi backgrounds. They come from mystic Sufi backgrounds, and they put their ideology here. Why is it that 1 out of every 10 Americans is Muslim, and they follow that Sufi sect? Because the Sufis are the sect that's similar to Christians. The Christians have the same ideology about faith and actions, that they don't go hand in hand. That long as you believe in God, you can get to heaven. That's the same philosophy the Christians have. Americans were Christians, so they say. So they convert over to the Sufism because it appeals to them most. It's what they're used to hearing. They're not used to hearing what I'm teaching. They're not used to hearing what Kareem Abu Zaid is saying, because we're teaching the opposite of that. Okay? We're lost. So I'm just letting you guys know, for all Muslims living in America, Europe, and Australia, don't think that you're safe. The war is already here. Allah is already doing the psychological warfare on us. Why did Allah say he sends war? I send war for several reasons. One of them is so you can see who the true believers are from the hypocrites. Well, I can see. I see who the real believers are, and I can only count 5. I can only count 5 out of all these thousands here in America. I can only count 5 that I know of. So it's already happening. So that's why I'm trying to tell the minute shahadas here, you need to buckle down and continue to come to my classes. There's a lot of innovation, deviation, progressive Islam on the internet, because that's what these people are about. They've made deals with the non-Muslims. They've made deals. The non-Muslims knew how to appeal to them, offer them fame, and give them some lies, feed them lies that they can have a birthday for their prophet Muhammad to be like us. Give them those lies and innovations, and then we'll have them do what we want them to do. Okay? Y'all better stick with my classes and get your faith together. Learn true Islam. And stop listening to these progressive, sick Muslims in America that's all over the YouTube channel, Facebook, with all these followers. The fact that they got millions of followers should tell you that something's wrong with them. Because the prophet said there'll be more people in hell than paradise. The fact that that brother got 24 million followers, that's a bad sign for me. I ain't listening to him. I listen to this brother here that's got 10 followers. The truth is always a bad pill to swallow. But for you people living in America, don't think that they don't know who's Muslim, because they do. And don't think that you know different. They'll set you up. And if they want you, they'll find a reason to get a hold of you. And when they get a hold of you, they're going to do to you what they did to that man. Lethal injection. Whether you guilty or not. Because that's how America rolls, always has. Zionist country. Blame it on George Washington and Paul Revere and them. That's why they broke away from England. They didn't want to live by religion. They didn't want to live by a monarchy. They wanted to make their own laws. That's Zionism. Masonry. America's a Mason country. That's Zionism. All right. So today we're going to talk about how faith does change. These brothers I'm speaking about, they'll argue this. They'll tell you, as long as it's in your heart, it's all about being in your heart. A person can commit a sin and he's still, his faith is still in there. Well, I'm going to disprove this crap today. And let me start it off with the PowerPoint. And as you guys ask, my new shahadas, I'm going to give you that quiz. Hold on, let me put it up here. Just 3 questions, because I want you guys to remember. There we go. I want you all to remember the obstacles that stand in the way of our iman. Okay, let's take a look at it. That's so I'm going to give you this quiz just to see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. I got the wrong picture. That's a picture. That's not PowerPoint. Hold on. Where's the PowerPoint? Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. That is a picture. Where's my PowerPoint? Faith fluctuates. Oh, here it is. Is that the here's the PowerPoint. Let me. Okay, now I'll do it. Okay. You have to make a picture too, so I can, when I do the video, the editing, I can have a picture to put on it. All right, there it is. This is the PowerPoint. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this over. Yeah, I got the Zoom room. And it gets in the way. Always this slideshow. Okay, here we go. From the beginning, we're going to speak about, I'm going to disprove these brothers who tell you that faith doesn't go up and down. The mergia, that faith doesn't change. But before we get into the discussion, here's a question. See how many of you can answer this. Of the 3 obstacles that stand between a person's heart and their belief, which of those 3 leads to the other 2? Is it doubt? Is it conjecture? Or is it delusion? Which one of these 3 obstacles leads to the other 2? Can you guys remember?
I want to say it's conjecture, because conjecture means you're believing misinformation, and Islam is clear. So if you're believing misinformation, it's going to lead you to question like the holes you find in it.
Wow, what y'all think about her answer? Anybody disagree? Does anyone disagree with her answer? Mashallah, her answer is correct. Conjecture. Conjecture is to have the wrong information about something, to not have the knowledge. So again, this is why Allah commands us in the Quran to seek correct knowledge of this religion. Because if you had the correct knowledge and the correct understanding of this religion, then you wouldn't be duped by those famous speakers who delude you, or those famous speakers that put doubt in your heart. You wouldn't question what you're learning here from me. Let me give an example. I've had some students over the years tell me, well, Sister Layla, I know you taught us this and I know you taught us that, but this brother came to me and he gave me this information and that information and that information. So now I'm confused. So you know what I say to those students? I taught you, but you didn't understand anything. Because if you truly understood what I was teaching you, no one on this planet would cause you to question what you know to be true. That's doubt. And that's why I was saying a lot of my students the other day, when I was saying a lot of my students suffer with doubt. If you understood what I'm teaching you, because everything I teach is based on Quran and Sunnah. I don't teach y'all from a fatwa. I don't teach you from the 4 imams, madhab. I don't teach you from nothing but Quran and Sunnah. And if something is unclear, I'm going to give you the understanding that Aisha or those companions had. So that means that even though I taught you something, you didn't understand it. Because if you understood it, that would close the door to doubt. And that's why the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told the companions, don't just say that you believe in Allah. Have certainty of faith. Don't just say that you know how to pray, that you know that you got to fast. Be certain of it. And that's what y'all hear me telling my students, the ones that keep questioning over and over. I have to break them out of it. I tell them, sister, where's your certainty of faith? If you had certainty of faith, nobody could take you otherwise. Subhanallah. I've been taught by the best. My present teacher is Abu Atayat. Anything that Sheikh Morsi teaches me, he bases it on the Quran and the Hadith. I see the Hadith. I hear the Quran. It's in my heart. Can't no other man on this earth come and pull me away from that. Example, I know what the Prophet said about menses. This is the authentic Hadith. Can't nobody pull me away from that and make me question it. I know what the Prophet said that we're supposed to do before we enter the house and after we enter. Can't no one on this planet, even if King Tut rose up out of his grave and came to me and said, Layla Nashiba, when you enter the house, you're supposed to do such and such a thing. I would say, King Tut, you better go eat dirt. That's certainty of faith. And that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. A lot of the Muslims today don't have certainty of faith. That's why I get on my students. That's why I get on y'all in this Zoom room. When y'all not paying attention, why do you think I yell at you? Because you're not listening to me. You're hearing me, but you're not listening. It's not going into your heart. You're not understanding what I'm teaching. And all it's going to take is for one of these famous brothers or these famous women to come whisper in your ear that the dead can hear you, and you're going to go running after them, la-di-da-di-da, and believe what they said. We have to have certainty of faith. And this is what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to emphasize with the companions. He used to tell them, pray to Allah. Ask Allah to give you certainty of faith. How many of you put that in your supplication? And I'm talking to my students. Umi Beryl, Norto, Aisha, Amina Fresno, Precious, all of y'all, because I can't see who's in there. All of y'all. Y'all need to make dua. Every time you make salat, when you make your personal supplication, ask Allah to give you certainty of faith. That way, no one on this planet can cause you to question what Allah has said. You know it's true. I've been making that dua since I was 6. Mukhtar's father was my imam. He had us making that supplication since I was 6 years old. He said, always ask Allah to give you knowledge, understanding of the deen, and certainty of faith. That supplication I've been making since I was a child, because that's what my first teacher, who was Mukhtar's father, taught me. And now it's there. Can't nobody cause me to question what I know. I know my religion. I'm sorry, bro. I know my deen. Unless you can bring a clear Nash, you can't make me change what I know to be true. So, seeking knowledge, the correct knowledge of this religion, guys, is an obligation, because it closes the door to conjecture, which is the number one obstacle that stands in the way of your belief in Allah. It also closes the door to delusion. I'm a person, I can suffer from delusion. I can get deluded about things in life, not my religion. Mukhtar's father taught me how to close the door to that. Mukhtar's father taught me that when it comes to the deen, Layla, everything has to be based on what the prophet said and what Allah said, not what no man and no sheikh said. We ain't into no four imams. That's what Mukhtar's father used to say. And that's how he used to say it. We ain't into no four imams here. It's all about Quran and the Sunnah. So that closes the door to delusion. Sticking to the Quran, sticking to the authentic hadith closes the door for me to delusion. And it also, having knowledge of the religion, the correct knowledge also closes the door to doubt. I've never been a person to question anything. That me personally, doubt is not a part of me. Anybody will tell you, Layla ain't a person that doubts stuff. Once I know something to be true, I'll fight to the death for it. That's how I am. Doubt ain't a part of my nature. If I know it's true, jihad. Okay. But it all begins with the knowledge. Does everybody understand that? And true knowledge of the deen is based on what Allah said and what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, not anybody else. And as far as on how to understand that information, the information should be understood the way the companions understood it. That closes the door. What about this question? Number 2. Amatullah. She just cannot accept, even though she was taught otherwise, that when a person dies, they cannot hear you. So she goes to the grave and talks to her mother on a regular basis. Now, what 2 obstacles? She's suffering with 2 obstacles. What 2 obstacles that stand in the way of your faith is she suffering with? What are the 2? There's the Yin family. Give me 2. The Yin family. Yeah, go ahead, baby.
She's suffering from delusion and doubt.
Okay, who was that to get that answer? Mina?
No, this is Tony.
Oh, Tony. MashaAllah. Where the babes? They in there? The babies? Yeah, alhamdulillah. My babies.
She actually gave me the answer.
Oh, the baby. I was going to say, I know she came up with it. Because you know the parents.
Yeah, she's right here listening.
The parents get knuckleheaded. Yeah. Okay. Y'all agree with their answer? Good job, Annette. Good job. Doubt and wait a minute. Yes, good job. And Sakina too. Okay, there's Annette's answer. Doubt and delusion. Good job. Sakina, there you go. Sakina's answer too. Good job. You guys are getting better at this. And how many of us suffer with that? A lot of us can suffer with 2 of these things, or even all 3. Here, Amatullah, she knows the truth. She knows the truth, but she's deluded. She's deluded into believing something that she knows is not possible because Allah said it ain't. But she doesn't want to accept it. The fact that she doesn't want to accept it, that's the doubt. This is an example of a person that doesn't have certainty of faith. Y'all have to close the door to all of this. And the only way to close the door, like the Prophet told the companions, is to pray for Allah to give you certainty of faith. Okay? And here's the last question. What about this one? Abdul. Sorry, I didn't take my vitamins today, my allergies rather. Abdul believes that it is impossible for there to be any, and by the way, this is a true statement. I just got this question today from one of my new shahadas from Reddit. Abdul, well, he's not a new shahada. Abdul lives in a Muslim, so-called Muslim country. But he believes that there are no real Muslims living in America at all. He says, Sister Layla, I don't believe anybody in America is Muslim. I said, why not? He said, because of all the sinful things. I told him where I live in America. He said, you live in America? I said, yes. He said, I thought you're Arabic. I said, I am Arabic, but I was born in the USA. Don't even know my father's people. Don't know them at all. Ain't been over there. Don't plan on going because I don't want to do no time in the pokey and get a lethal injection shot up in me. Oh, no. So what is Abdul suffering with? He believes that it's impossible for there to be any real Muslims in America because America is a place where so many haram things happen. So what obstacle, if any, is Abdul suffering with?
Delusion.
Okay, who said a delusion? Sister, the Yuan family said doubt. Who said delusion?
Aya.
Okay, which one y'all think is right? Is
I'll
it?
say delusion too.
I say both of them.
Because he believed it. So what you believe in something, that's why you're thinking that with your whole heart.
Okay, remember doubt. Doubt is when you know something to be true. Remember, guys, doubt comes from knowing the truth, but you're questioning it. Okay? So, is this an example of doubt? Abdul believes that it's impossible for there to be any real Muslims in America. That's not doubt. Doubt only occurs if you know something to be true. He doesn't know anything about America. So what's that? That's good job. That's number one. It's conjecture. Good job, Sakina. It's conjecture because conjecture is when you have the misinformation. Like I told this brother, I said, you live in Morocco. I said, you've never been anywhere outside of Morocco. You don't know anything about America. I told him all you have heard is what you heard through the grapevine. I told him you have to seek the truth first. So this is conjecture, which is misinformation. And because of his misinformation, he's now deluded. Good job. As Mina said, he's deluded. That means that he believes something is impossible that is possible. Most of you in here listening to me, we live in America and we're Muslim. So what are you deluded about? You can be Muslim and live on the moon. You can be Muslim and live anywhere. Okay? That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the strong believer is more loved by Allah than the weak one. That's why we have to work on strengthening our faith. Get to know your Lord and strengthen your iman, because if you're strong in your iman, you can live anywhere. I can live on Mars, live on Jupiter, Saturn, live in the ocean as a mermaid. Used to be a dream of mine to be a mermaid. Yes. So this is an example of delusion and conjecture. Remember, guys, doubt is only when you know something and you're questioning. That's why I tell my students, y'all got to stop doubting because y'all got the truth. I'm teaching y'all straight from the authentic hadiths themselves. And if you're questioning it still, something's wrong with you. Okay? All right. Any questions on this quiz? Y'all did better. And I'm going to keep doing this because I see you guys are getting better and better each day. I want you guys to recognize when you're dealing with other Muslims in your personal life, don't be that kind of Muslim that calls people kafir all the time, like those brothers in the UK do. Those brothers in the UK, everybody, they make takfir. Everybody's a kafir and all of that. We're going to talk about that group. That's another group that we're going to talk about next week. They always making takfir, or everybody's a kafir. That Kharijite mentality, okay? I don't want you to call people kafir because they're suffering with weakness of faith, because they're deluded, or because they just don't, they got doubt. Their heart is not, the faith is not strong, okay? So that's why I'm giving y'all this quiz, so you can see that we're all in different levels. And so now we're going to get to the lecture, and I'm going to make my picture of me, my video, smaller, because a lot of you are screenshotting. And by the way, this book, Get to Know Your Lord, there's the children's version. You guys know we have the children's version that Sheikh Kareem, may Allah bless him and forgive him of his sins, put out. Go to Amazon and get the children's version, so that your children, like Sister Tony's kids are, her kids are following along. Tony, get that book for them. It's the children's version. It's the same thing I'm teaching here, but it's more simpler for them, and they can follow along too. Okay, the children's version of this is on Amazon. Know Your Lord for the kids. It's from kindergarten through 3rd grade. What's the level? If your children are kindergarten through 3rd grade, they can understand it. That's the book, the children's version. So put me on this big screen TV so the kids can follow me and the book. And here we go with the PowerPoint. And Mina, you got the book, right, Mina? Make sure the book is covering this today. You know where I'm starting at, Mina?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Okay, I'm getting ready to start right here, so you can tell me at the end of the class if this was basically summarized for the kids. Okay, we're going to talk about how faith fluctuates. That's what is in our book, Mina, is called Faith Fluctuations. It's right after the Emergia and all that. So today we're going to disprove the theory that the Emergia have. They don't believe that faith changes. They don't believe that our actions have anything to do with our belief system. Well, I want everybody to pay attention to this verse of the Quran, because this verse of the Quran dispels that misconception. And let me make the screen larger. I don't want the kids to, and y'all can screenshot for the kids. Yeah. Use your cell phone, your laptop to screenshot, so that way you have the PowerPoint and I'll be on the side. Yeah, y'all gonna have my picture. What can I say? Make sure I don't smile. Okay. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, the believers are only those who, when Allah is mentioned to them, their hearts become fearful of his punishment, guys. And when his words are recited to them, it increases them in their faith. And upon Allah do they then rely. This verse of the Quran right here dispels this misconception that the Murji'a have, that faith does not increase. Allah is clear. Allah is telling us right here that if you are a true believer, when you hear a verse, when somebody tells you what Allah said, it's going to make your faith increase. Also, not only does faith increase, but it also decreases. It goes up and down. It goes up and down, guys. Whenever we disobey Allah, in other words, whenever we do something that Allah commanded us not to do, that's going to make your faith weaken. But when you stop doing that bad thing and then go back to obedience to Allah, then your faith gets back strong. So our faith goes up and down, and there's many verses of the Quran and many hadiths. For example, listen to what Allah says and screenshot this page. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, Allah increases those who were guided in guidance. And the enduring good deeds are better to your Lord for reward and better for recourse. So here Allah is telling us in this verse too, that Allah will increase your iman, increase your belief in Him when you do good deeds. You feel good when you do a good deed. What happens? When you make a donation to this website, and by the way, may Allah bless one of my babies. One of my babies paid the bill for us today, y'all. Y'all see I'm not disconnected. I'm streaming live thanks to one of my babies. One of my babies here, the twins, took care of the internet to stream with. In order for me to stream, I have to have the fastest speed possible because I'm streaming, I'm downloading, I'm uploading, I'm doing videos. It's the business account. Remember, we are a nonprofit organization. Please support us, guys. Please send your donations in. The first of the month will be Monday. We got to come up with another $2,000 for next month. And look at that. I got that little ticker going. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. That's our IEIN number. You can write us off whatever donations at the end of the year. But alhamdulillah, one of the twins paid the internet for us so I can keep the business. I got to have a business account stream because of the hackers. So alhamdulillah, she paid it. MashaAllah. May Allah bless her. But look how good that makes you feel. Whenever you do something good, especially if it's something that's going to benefit this ummah, there's a warmth that overtakes your heart. And from the class that I just taught, we just ended, that's your fitra. Remember, the fitra is in the heart, and we have to nourish it. Your fitra is trying to find its way back to Allah. And whenever you do something good, especially that's going to benefit all the Muslims in the world, like knowledge, look how good you feel. You feel like, wow. And it makes you want to do extra stuff. You want to stand, I'm going to do tahajjud tonight too. I'm going to do my sunnah prayers too. That's what this verse is saying. Allah will increase your faith and make you want to do even more good deeds when you do one. Subhanallah. You paid the website's internet bill. Now you're going to want to pay the phone bill. Now you're going to want to pay for the video program. Now you want to help Sister Layla make shorts. Now you want to get out there and advertise. That's that fitra. The fitra is being nourished. So faith goes up and down. Whenever we do good deeds, it increases it. So these brothers, many of them are of the most mystic Sufis. Many of them are the Murji'ah. You know, they feel that our actions have nothing to do with faith. That's garbage. This verse of the Quran disproves that. And maybe that's why they're supporting LGBTQ. They're now shaking hands with women. They now, in their masjids, they have the women and men praying together without a barrier. And they're lying on the prophet. They said that the prophet didn't use a barrier. That's a lie. The barrier that the prophet used between the women and men were the boys, the human body, the boys. But now do y'all see why these famous brothers, you know, keep adding up sins? And now they're celebrating Maulid. Now they're trying to get the American government to give them happy birthday for the prophet. The sins are adding up because faith decreases. Just like faith increases when you do good, it goes down and decreases more and more from the evil you do. Y'all see that? Also, another proof. Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, whenever a surah of the Quran is revealed, There are among the hypocrites those who say, which of you has this increased their faith? As for those who believe, it has increased them in faith and while they were rejoicing. Okay, so here's another verse where Allah says that for the believer, our faith grows even more. When Allah sent a revelation to the companions, their iman, their belief in him grew even more. For us today, there are no more revelations, but whenever you guys come to my class, how many of you say, wow, Sister Layla, I feel so much better. When I come to your 6 o'clock class, I feel like I can take on the world. My iman has increased because I'm teaching you what I'm explaining to you, what Allah meant, what Allah said, what the Prophet said, and I'm using that analytical thematic science. I use the thematic science to incorporate my hadiths. Okay? I pick a theme, a subject. Today's theme is faith. In fact, the subject for the whole week has been faith, iman. And I'm giving you the verses of the Quran that relate to it, the hadiths that relate to it, and your iman has increased. Maqasid. I got to throw that in there so y'all can understand that for that class I'm teaching y'all at 9:30. Maqasid. That's what that means. Okay, here's another verse. Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, the believers unto whom the hypocrites said, verily, the pagans have gathered against you a great army, so you should fear them. But instead of this making the believers afraid, it only increased them in their faith. And they said, Allah is all we need. That's another example. So here we can see different verses of the Quran that disproves this theory that faith doesn't change, that faith stays the same, and that sinful actions don't impact it. And we have many hadiths as well. For example, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, whoever amongst you sees an evil, let him change it with his hands. And if he can't, then with his tongue. And then if he can't, then in his heart by hating it and knowing that whatever it is wrong. And doing this is the weakest level of faith. So here's another hadith showing us that faith does change. If I did nothing at all, then I'm part of it. But if I can at least hate that thing in my heart, like today, like I said, I feel so depressed today because people, famous brothers that I looked up to for years, when I have to see that these brothers are now upon progressive Islam, that they're now upon bid'ah, innovation, it makes me sad. There's nothing I can do to stop them from what they're doing physically. Okay? I can speak up, and I am doing that as a dawah. I'm a daya. I'm speaking up as a daya. And I hate it in my heart. I'm making dua, oh Allah, guide these brothers back to the sunnah with the understanding of the companions and away from this crazy stuff, this progressive crap that they've come upon now. Okay? And I feel better because I'm speaking out against it and I'm hating it in my heart. But if I did nothing, you see that? So all of these are proofs that faith does change. It doesn't stay the same. Also, let me see. I got some more. Yeah. Switch computers. Okay. Faith becomes weak. It can go down to the size of a small seed, but it can still be cultivated. And we talked about that when we talked about the fitra. The fitra can be almost extinguished completely. It can be extinguished completely. but we can get it back. Okay? Listen to these hadiths here. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, after Allah puts the people of the hellfire into the fire, he will say to the angels, look, and whoever you find with a mustard seed's weight of faith, bring him out. And they will bring out the people who have been burnt like charcoal. They will be thrown in the river of life, and they will then emerge like seeds coming back to life. So here we can see, if a person does believe in Allah, it can decrease to the size of a seed. The size of a seed. It's when there's no faith at all that you're doomed. But by the way, this is the hadith that those Murji'ah play upon. They'll read this hadith and they'll say, all I need is an ounce of faith. How many of you have heard Muslims here in America say that? All I need, girl, I know I don't wear hijab. I know I should be praying and I don't. I know I don't practice this religion, but that's okay. All I need is an ounce of faith. This is the hadith they use to say my actions ain't got nothing to do with it. When they don't understand the simple fact that they made that statement, that's a sign that maybe you don't have any faith. For you to be that arrogant, that stubborn. Remember, arrogance is a sin of disbelief. And I'm going to teach you guys about the sins of disbelief in a couple of weeks. Okay? Arrogance is a sin of disbelief. The fact that you can be that arrogant, that may be a sign that you don't have no faith in your heart at all. But that's the hadith these Murji'ah use. So, all the original companions, how did they understand faith? All the companions understood that faith goes up and down, and you have to understand that too. If you are one of these brothers or sisters that think that faith does not change, then something's wrong with you. That means your belief system is not correct. Even Imam Bukhari put in his book of faith that faith increases and decreases. And he gave so many hadiths from our prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to prove that. And also for you brothers that are so into the early scholars and the four imams, they believe the same thing too. The four imams believe that faith increases and decreases too, including Imam Hanafi. Even though the Hanafiya, we have a set of the Murji'ah that's real prevalent here in America. They don't believe that faith increases and decreases. But that's not what Imam Hanafi said. He believed it, as did Ibn Taymiyyah. As Ibn Taymiyyah said, faith increases through your actions of obedience, and it goes down by disobedience. And that's based on the hadith of our prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, also, pay attention to this. This is why the prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said the strong believer is better and more loved by Allah than the weak one, even though there's good in both of them. Because the strong believer, he can be around fitna. Like I was telling the brother that lives in Morocco, the strong believer can live amongst people who smoke, who drink, who dress in naked clothes, but still maintain their belief because he's strong in his faith. That's why Allah loves the strong believer more. Okay? Also, we have to understand, guys, if you believe that faith is solid, that it's fixed, that it's constant and never changes, this is not the understanding of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions. Okay? Also, if you don't believe that there's different levels of faith, you guys hear me say a lot, faith manifested signs. You can tell how strong a person is in their belief when a hardship happens. You guys know the hadith, how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was walking and he saw a woman in the graveyard crying, and the Prophet told her to have patience. This is a Bukhari hadith. And the woman said, "You don't know what I'm going through. Leave me alone." And then after he left, the people told her, "Don't you know that was the Prophet of Allah?" She didn't know it. So she came to apologize. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told her, he said, patience is a sign of faith. And he went on to say, there's more to that hadith. Like I said, the science of connectivity. The science of connectivity. You have to know how the hadiths connect. That's when the Prophet gave that big talk on how faith consists of different branches. He said patience is a branch, modesty is a branch, okay? Respect is a branch, even picking something up off the road is a branch. So faith consists of different branches. If you don't believe that, then your belief system is not correct. And that's why the Prophet said faith, where you are in your faith will show, will manifest when Allah sends a hardship to you. The Prophet said the initial reaction you give, this is more of that hadith that you find later in Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you can see where you are in your level of faith when Allah sends a calamity your way. Your initial reaction. How do you react when it happens? That shows whether you're strong or weak. Do you scream out? Do you curse? Or do you say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun? That's the rest of that hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the companions in that hadith, he said, whenever you experience a trial or a hardship, say, or whenever you hear bad news, say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun, which means from Allah have we come, and unto Allah we shall return, and Allah will send sakina over you, tranquility down upon you. He'll give you the ability to face whatever that trial is with dignity and balance. That's the rest of that hadith. That's a big hadith. But that's the science of connectivity. Just like some of the verses of the Quran connect hadiths as well. Okay? So we have to understand that faith consists of many different parts. Patience, respect, integrity, all of that. Calmness, all of that. So that brings us to the question that a lot of people ask. Okay, well, since faith goes up and down, since it increases and decreases, where is it? Is it in our mind? No, faith is in the heart. Our heart, that's where the fitra is. That's where the fitra is. Remember, when Allah created Adam, he ran his hand over his back, and all of our souls appeared. I appeared. You appeared. Our grandchildren, our great, everybody appeared. And the soul, we were in submission to Allah. We took on free will. And then when your mother, my mother, got pregnant, Allah had the angel assigned to the souls to blow my soul in my mother's womb, your soul in your mother's womb. And once the soul is blown into the womb, the fitra leaves the soul and it attaches to the heart. And what is that fitra? That's our faith. That's our belief in Allah. So the heart is the place where our belief increases and decreases, because that's where your future is. Okay? But as we talked about, our faith can go up and down due to the delusions that we have about Allah, about life, about the religion. Our faith can increase or decrease due to the doubts we have about Allah, about our life, about our existence. And our faith can increase and decrease due to suspicions, pessimism. That's why I tell you guys, I got a couple of my students suffer with pessimism. That means they're so suspicious. They think there's a conspiracy. They won't take medicine. They won't go to the doctor because they think the world is out to get them. These things impact our faith. So as Muslims, we have to be vigilant regarding our belief system. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. The believers are only those who have believed in Allah and his prophet, and then no doubt, they have no doubt about it. That's that certainty of faith. I believe in Allah. I believe in the prophet, and you can't cause me to question it. These are the believers, and they're the ones that will live their life trying to earn that love of Allah. And they're the ones that are truthful in their speech. So again, guys, it's all about that certainty of faith. And this is what we're going to talk about starting tomorrow. The next chapter of this book goes into certainty of faith. A lot of you, as my students in the Zoom room, you lack certainty of faith. If you can let somebody come to you and give you a lot of papers talking about something, but ain't none of those papers got a hadith on it that clearly says whatever, then that means you don't have certainty of faith. Y'all understand what I'm saying, my students? You got to know what you know. And you can't cause me. I don't care what some imam said. I don't care what King Tut said. Bring me the clear nas. Bring me the clear verse. If you can't produce the clear verse that says what you're saying, you better take them papers and shove them. That's certainty. And again, that comes from having, number one, the correct knowledge. Certainty of knowledge is, I know what I know. And ain't nothing you can do to take me away from that. And then we're going to talk about certainty due to visualization. I know what I see. You can't cause me to become deluded from what I see. And then we have certainty of the truth. This is the highest level. Okay? I know the truth. And you can't cause me to deviate away from that. That's what happened with a lot of these famous brothers that's part of these councils and committees and who I done seen have deviated away. I'm like, oh my God, they never had the certainty. They never had the certainty of knowledge. They never had the certainty of the truth. They had some doubt lingering in their heart, or they had some delusions. All right, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow, but I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Are there any questions or comments? I tried to keep these pages. These were 5 pages, 55 through 58, not 60, 55 through 658. I tried to summarize it. And you know, I taught a class in the past. I've always taught about how faith goes up and down, what the things that weaken it. And we're going to go over that, things that weaken our iman, how to recognize the triggers, certain signs to look for that can cause your faith to weaken, you know, and all of that. Any questions or comments? And by the way, guys, please support this Dawah effort. We're at the end of the month, the 1st. It starts over. We got to pay, what's the streaming bill? This streaming program, oh God, this is every month. Y'all see why I got anxiety? Yeah, I lost some weight. My little friend said, I can tell you lost weight. How can you tell? You can tell for real? Oh, my face is thin. You know, people tell me that. Yes, longer. She says she can. This is one of my coworkers, guy. I used to work with her. She says she can tell I lost weight. My face is skinnier. Yeah, it is. I'm stressed out. Girl, just because you stop working, huh? Girl, this website is my new job. It's more stressful than working at the job. I wished I was back working. At least I was getting paid every 2 weeks and I could do overtime. But I'm stressed out trying to pay this website. You know, I don't have the overtime. It's $2,500 a month. Every month I got to beg for donations for this website. When before I used to just work, what? You still killing that overtime? I'd work 2 days overtime a week and I'd have $4,000. I could pay my website and do what I wanted. Oh yeah. 4 days overtime was $4,000. Layla was cleaning it up. Yeah. Yeah, I missed that money. They're mandating. Oh, she said, see, that's because you still working. I'm telling you, girl, when you retire, you're going to miss that job. You're going to miss that overtime because we used to that money. Oh, yeah. I missed that overtime, girl. I got to live off a set check now. So I can't pay for my website. She wished she was retired. Huh? You got 10 more years. She got 10 more years. She got to do 10 more years. It'll go by fast, girl. Them last 10 years went fast for me. Yeah, the last 10 go fast. What? Oh, you in category C. Friends, no. She in category C. She said that she can't retire until she's 67 years old. Obama changed that law. She said Obama changed that. She got to work till she's 67. See, I retired young. Yeah. Yeah, I was category A. Yeah, mine was just based on years of service. I did over 30 years, so I could retire even if I was 40. Yeah, so I was category A. But you're in category C? Girl, you got a ways to go then. SubhanAllah. All right, any other questions or comments? And by the way, thanks for coming to my class. Where you at, girl? You better let them people know that you on break. You know I ain't there to be your union steward no more. Hello, let them catch you here listening to me. That's a write-up. 2-day suspension. I ain't gonna be able to save you. I'm retired. Oh, you are on break? Okay, good. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I was thinking about that. I do need to come to Dayton because I want to see Trina. I need to get my hair done from her. Trina, I miss Trina. I said I was going to have to make a run up there to Dayton. Take my granddaughter with me so I can get my hair done by Trina. How's Trina doing? You see her?
Yeah, I see her.
Who is that? You in the website? Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on for a second, y'all. Where's that? Oh, okay. Oh, that was one of the kids. I thought that my coworker that came in the Zoom room. My ex-coworker. Yeah, well, if I come there, I'll let you know. I got you on my Facebook page. Yeah. Yeah, I need to come down there to check on her. Yeah, see how she's doing. All right, guys, let me log out. Before I do, let me remind you guys, 9:30, we have a special Ask Sister Layla live show. We're going to be talking about the question, and I did my research. There is no math app that does that. But we're going to talk about men older men who refuse to marry women over 40. They say it's the maktab or something. It ain't no maktab. It's a Hanafiya Murjiat, but it's not a maktab. We're going to talk about that. And I'm going to give you guys the real reason why men who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, why they're marrying women who are in their 20s and 30s. It has nothing to do with the religion of Islam. It has nothing to do with that. It's something else. There's another reason why men over the age of 40 marry women who are 20 and 30. I'm going to break it down to y'all tonight. The brothers ain't going to like it, but the truth always hurts. You know. Yeah, let me show y'all the video. Yeah, I got the video. Let me show it to you. Yeah, let me play it. Where is it at? Here it is.
Assalamu alaikum. Hot topic for this upcoming Ask Sister Layla live show. This Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Ustada Layla Nashiba, she will be addressing the older men chasing younger women to marry to feel young again. Waris and imams seeking new shahadas to marry to complete half their deen and more. You're not going to want to miss this show. Streaming on all major platforms. See you there, inshallah. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
That's going to be tonight, inshallah, guys. And as far as those brothers divorcing them, oh, yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with a method. That's some innovation. That's what I'm telling y'all. The religion is messed up. We got this progressive here in America from these, not the religion, the Muslims are messed up. These progressive Muslims, these conservative Muslims, the compassionate Muslims, oh God, it's ridiculous. The war is here. We're going to talk about that tonight, 9:30, inshallah. So let me log on. I got to make my grib, and inshallah, I'll be back on at 9:30. Sunnahfollowers. And make sure y'all share this. Share our website. Brother Tajri, share the website with the people. We need to get more people in here to participate in these classes, because these progressive imams, boy, they got some sickness in the works. All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.